We'll be moving on to the next topic, and that is a standoff between Premier League club owners and players regarding pay cuts. Now, my people here, Bar Prince, Nicolette White, and Carol Commander on Skype are going to help me dissect this issue. And I'll just start off by saying the UK government have come up with this furlough scheme. I don't know if you've read about it, where if clubs or companies lay off their staff, the government will pay the staff members that have been laid off 80% of the wage cut, of their wages, sorry. Now, an issue that has come up with this is that teams such as Tottenham have registered for that furlough scheme. And it's brought a lot of rumblings in the football community, because certain clubs now are asking themselves, why have Tottenham, who have so much money compared to other companies out there that really need that scheme, why have they registered for that scheme, while their players can just take pay cuts for them to pay their staff?
But let me tell you, during this situation, everybody's looking at himself. Everybody's like, what will happen to me tomorrow? So everybody's running to a safe, area in terms of where to get money, in terms of where to, you feel safe. So I feel like maybe even the Tottenham, maybe players and whatever have not been consulted. Probably, maybe unaweza pata ni wale ma big fish wa Tottenham wameamua, hey man, we don't want to nini, let's just go there. But it is also, raising a lot of questions, not only among players and other clubs, but also to us, that how is it that a club is involved in such than a government? Maybe, they should be in a way independent, dealing with their own situation.
Now, let me ask Carol this. Now, this issue has brought a whole lot of rumblings within the football community. There's been talks of owners such as Daniel Levy and of Tottenham, and the likes of Stan Kroenke at Arsenal, and the Glazers at United, who have been asking players actually to take pay cuts. Yeah. But now players don't want to take these pay cuts because they don't know if this money falls into the hands of the owners, where if the money will be accounted for, like where has it been used? Has it been given to the NHS? Or the owners have just pocketed this money. So Jordan Henderson, the Liverpool captain, decided that he'll get in contact with all the captains of the other clubs. Yeah. And in a way, they'll find a way in which to raise money and over to the NHS. Now, Carol, let me just get your opinion on this. If you are a player, would you allow, when your owner tells you you need to take a pay cut, would you allow that? Or would you go by what the FA said? Because the FA told the players not to take a pay cut. Which side did you lead on?
Okay, right now, I think you have to be in sync, as a player, you have to be in sync with the society and what's going on. So I honestly don't think a pay cut is a really bad thing, considering when you look at the average salary of some of these players, they're much more than anyone, even some of the politicians get. So I don't think a pay cut would be a big deal, honestly.
But then the issue comes in that the FA was saying that if the players do take a pay cut, as the owners have suggested, is the money going to be accounted for? That is the issue, and the FA were like, it's better. Go ahead.
What I'm seeing is that most of these players individually are doing, like they're having this charitable things that they're doing with their money already. Yeah. So whether the money that is cut from their salary is used to actually help people with the virus and all that, whether it's used for that or not, can we ever know? Can you really know?
That's another thing, and for me, just go ahead.
I don't think it should be their problem. I don't think it should be their problem, and I don't think they should think about it as much as they are.
Okay, Nicolette White, what are your thoughts on that? Would you? The actual issue here is owners want players to take pay cuts. The FA said that if these players do take the pay cuts, as the owners have said, the money will not be accounted for if it has been used to help the NHS, etc.
But so I think you guys...
So what the FA was saying, that it's better how some players have come out, as Carol has mentioned, they're doing it on their own. They're doing it on their own.
I feel like they're just using it as an excuse.
to get money.
To cut the players' money. But that's what Messi's issue with Barcelona was.
And we'll get into that a little bit later on.
But you know, as a Manchester United supporter and as a a club like Manchester United
There's a
that is not
daughter.
looking at whether it's an excuse or not, that players have willingly come out and agreed with our captain to give 30% of their salary. But anyway, on a serious note, I don't think it's hard for FA to trace that cash. Like, it's not hard. For them, FA, when it comes to auditing clubs and finding and following cash trails, I think for FA, they have it in point. I think the only reason why FA doesn't want the players to take a pay cut is simply because of contract issues. Because I think they feel like if managers right now can tell the players to take a pay cut during a pandemic, tomorrow, if the club gets relegated, they'll also start telling players take pay cuts because we're being relegated or something. They'll use it as an excuse, get, for future issues.
Can I cut it short? There are viewers here who are sending in the answers for those trivia questions. Let me just start off with this one. And that's you haven't left your name. He goes and says, question 5 answer, that was, it's actually not question 5, it's question 4. Which 6 German players have won Premier League winners' medals? His answer, Furlough for Chelsea, Leroy Sané, Antonio Rudiger.
Michael Ballack.
Has Rudiger won a winners' medal? No.
No.
Was he there with Conte?
Rudiger, he was there, but he was not being, played usually. But he was in the squad.
He was in the squad. Okay, so you've named 3.
Michael
There's
Ballack is
3
there.
more left there. Why are you answering for them the question? Michael Ballack, you can complete it then.
Sorry.
Michael Ballack?
Sorry, I'm not.
No, just go ahead, since you've cited. Michael Ballack.
Continue.
Continue.
It's okay. How many are left?
6 German players. Michael Ballack.
Who else?
He had mentioned Andre Schürrle.
Yes.
He had
Strictly
mentioned
Chelsea
Leroy
or
Sané.
in...
No, German players in the
German.
English
In the
league.
English, who have won English
Mesut
Premier League
Ozil is
medals.
there.
No, he's not won a Premier League.
Mesut Ozil.
No. When was the last time
Premier
Arsenal
League
had
medal.
a Premier League?
He has FA Cup medals, not Premier League.
No, sorry, before he came to Nini, but not
Premier League, English Premier
Premier
League
League.
medals.
Yes, Sawa.
So there's Ballack, there's Andre Schürrle, Leroy Sané he
Premier
mentioned.
League.
Yes.
Carol, do you have the answer to this?
Two more.
3 more.
Yeah, 3 more.
What?
Do you have the answer to this question?
I stop giving people answers. The show is not over.
No.
No, wacha watu watafute.
Okay.
May I know one, but I'm not saying.
You will
No,
get your
I've
answers.
said
to
one,
us.
you
No.
should say moja.
No.
Okay.
No, let it be now. Okay, now, Carol, unfortunately, I'll have to let you go now.
Okay.
Thank you for being part of the show. Thank you for your opinions and your
Okay.
thoughts.
Aww.
And just give us one last statement regarding the whole pandemic and the football situation.
Okay. I guess, no, okay, relating to football, just football.
Yes.
Yeah, just general football. Just throw in anything there. I hope I've not caught you off guard there.
I'm wondering how, okay. I guess for now, it's better for all the leagues to be, Liverpool fans are going to kill me. All the leagues should just be declared null.
And void.
Because, because they had projected that they will return this month, yes, but it doesn't seem that it's going to happen. So I think we should just dial down to the start of the season.
Let me tell you.
To Liverpool fans.
Okay, I'll have to let Carol go.
Let me
I have to
tell her
give
something.
I'll have to let Carol go.
Even if-
I have to let Carol go.
Okay.
Carol, thank you very much, and
Okay.
we'll definitely keep in touch and hope you can be part of this this panelist again another time soon.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Bella ciao.
Bella ciao. Now let me just welcome Ayub onto the show. Ayub, how are you doing?
Good afternoon, Delvin. Good afternoon, Nicolette. Good afternoon, Bar Prince.
Tuko fresh baba yao. Uko namna gani bra?
How are you doing,
How are
Ayub?
you guys doing? Thought you were in self-quarantine. I'm sure the show is on and up.
Bwana, nilikuwa nadhani umevaa ka vest, kumbe huko kwako kuna baridi sana.
Kwa ground beach is different. But
I say you're having a good time, Maze.
Ayub, before you just came on,
Yes, Delvin.
I don't know if you heard what Bar Prince was saying. He was bashing. Yeah, I know you being an Arsenal fan. Bar Prince was like, Arsenal fans are being delusional. They just want the season to be null and voided because next season they'll make it to the Champions League because of City getting banned. What's your take on that?
Well, first of all, I think not per se to respond to what Bar Prince has said, but Chelsea, as any other case in London, which is based in London, as Arsenal, Crystal Palace, West Ham United, Fulham, and the Queen's Park Rangers, more or less, it's a case of talking about the effect the pandemic is having on the league. And I think postponement is far-fetched in this case, and there's likely going to be a continuation of the case of the English Premier League, to be specific. And in regard to Liverpool being the top team at the moment before the games were postponed or called off, that is subject to considerations by the Football Association in the UK, and it's likely going to be a continuation point from where it has stopped or where we have left it off.
Well, we've had that now.
So it means Arsenal are not, getting what they wanted, man.
Actually, I don't think Arsenal as a club sat down and said that they want the Premier League to be null and void. To be honest, I think any person who understands sports and how football runs, it'll really mess the competition. For me, I would rather they adjust the calendar for the next 5 seasons accordingly, because you see, even if we continue the season now, it's going to affect next season.
Season's calendar,
yeah,
definitely.
so we have to they have to sit down and find a way to adjust the calendar going forward, and they should be prepared next time if something like this is ever to happen, whether it's a pandemic, whether it's an earthquake that makes it impossible for the league to continue. At least they have a plan B in case of something like that. You get? Yeah. For me, I'm for that.
Yes, to just chip in, Delvin. The point is, I think what's more paramount at the moment is the health issue and how the stakeholders, key stakeholders in this case across the globe, will consider this health crisis from becoming economic crisis. And what we have seen equally is sporting events which have been cancelled. The English Premier League is not an exception in this case. You have had the Bundesliga, and how the Borussia Dortmund football stadium, the Signal Iduna Park, the biggest in Germany, is now being turned to hospital center, at least for the government to cope with the sheer number of patients of the coronavirus pandemic. And the other important aspect is also the calling off of the 2020 Olympics, which was set to happen in Japan. Despite insistence by the Shinzo Abe government in Japan, there was consensus that there's need to call off it to 1 year. Probably it will happen in 2021. But the effect is that it will also impact the 2020 Euro and probably the 2022 FIFA World Cup timetable. So our attention should not be only on the English League, but equally how other sporting events have been affected by the coronavirus pandemic because of the push in timetables, because of push in schedules, and perhaps as to how football governing bodies across the European continent, across the world in general, will need to come up with perhaps a sort of an immunity system that will absorb such a shock in future.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Ayub, there was a story I was reading yesterday. In the Belgian league, they've decided to hand the title to Club Brugge, who are 15 points clear and just now void the rest of the season. Do you think if this pandemic goes on for a longer period of time than expected, let's say it stretches all the way until probably October or November, do you think it'll leave the football governing bodies no choice but to just void this 2019-2020 season?
Well, I think we need to still delve in, hang on to the hope that, for instance, to be fair to Liverpool fans, they were to win the league if they were to win the last 3 games before the calling off. And the case of Belgium or Club de Braga is an exception because they have been pretty at the top for most of the season, and they were tipped, of course, by bookmakers to win the title. But the point is that the English Premier League, which seems to be at the eye of attention of football fans across the globe, is tentatively at a different stage. And in regard to Liverpool and Manchester City, and of course the gap in the points between the first and the second team in the English League, there's need to consider, but I don't think direct handing of the trophy to, say, Liverpool now, who are more than 15 points above Manchester City or Leicester, is going to be fair for sporting activity or a sporting league of the English Premier League's caliber.
Okay, until I'll be just saying that, summarizing it, until it is mathematically won, it cannot be handed to Liverpool.
But it has been done.
Yes, Delvin.
It has been done. Mathematically, it has been done.
No,
Through the data analytics, it has been done by Opta, and it has been proven that Liverpool actually would have, you know, would
Yes,
just
they-
win the league
but
by even more than
mathematically,
100.
mathematically, they still can be caught.
Yes, yeah.
That's why it's not going to be fair to hand
It
over
is
titles.
possible mathematically, but let us not go by that math that we're talking about. Let us just go by the situation and how even the situation has affected everything in football and even in sports. Okay? Maybe my point is, and where I stand, I think we should just, the FA should hand over the Premier League to Liverpool, finish the league, and then look
Finish
forward
the league in
to
what
how.
way? Finish the league in what way?
Just
Right now, though, it is...
the way it is, just give Liverpool their title.
Do you
and
think
then
that
we
will be
win.
fair?
But that will not
Because
be
let me
fair.
tell you,
Let me
tell you one thing. Before you talk, even if we postpone the league and say it's okay, we won't just sema imeisha hivyo. Even if we resume it next month, there will be a lot to do by players and coaches, because I know in terms of fitness and everything, kutakuwa na a lot to do,
No, but I
so
don't
that
think
they
so.
can catch up with
That's,
everything.
okay, I agree with you there, because De Bruyne actually came out and mentioned, of course,
Exactly.
if they just come back after these 3 months off,
There'll be a lot to
players will be so unfit,
I am
players will be
telling you, I
dropping
am
down
telling you.
injured
I'm telling
very, very easily. But anyway, Nicola
But there are
Church, you have a comment to
clubs,
say
there are
about this.
clubs like Spurs that have been having workout sessions with their players. Like the team is there with the people who they, and they've been doing workouts.
And there are clubs
via,
like Norwich who have no such structures and such
but then
timetables.
again, you see the way you keep saying that Liverpool should be handed the title. You guys are forgetting there's also the relegation
zone,
clubs,
yeah.
and there's some people who are a point away or 2 points away from being relegated. What happens to those clubs then? What happens to the ones who are supposed to be promoted?
Let's get Ayub's thoughts on this. Ayub, you've heard what Bar Prince has said there, that the league should just be ended, hand Liverpool the title, and the way the league is right now is the way it ends. Don't you think
Relegate
this
them.
is unfair for the relegated teams? Don't you think this is unfair for the likes of Sheffield United, who have a game in hand over United and
Yeah.
can leapfrog them to 5th, that Champions League spot, now that City have been suspended?
Yes, I think Bob Prince's assertion is unfair and defies logic, in the sense that our attention should not be only on the handing of the league or to Liverpool or Manchester City or to Leicester, particularly the relegation battle, and what happens next, because in the English league, you know how important 1 point is, and can that be, of course, a savior point of a team's season, say the last 3 teams position 18, 19, and 20. And more importantly, again, is the qualification pace and rivalry for the UEFA Europa League, in which we see teams that usually never used to be featuring in the top 8 or top 6 are now there. Therefore, what happens to the other teams equally at the relegation battle, at the mid-table, while we are focusing our attention on Liverpool? And purposely, the reason as to why any domestic league runs from August of every year to May the next year, say 2020, from August 2019, is to ensure that all the matches, the 38 matches, are played. Therefore, it will be unfair to all the other teams if Liverpool will be handed the title at the moment, but it's equally fair to say that they are mathematically setting the pace, and of course, in winning the next 3 games, they will of course be the champions. And as we speak, of course, they are the champions elect for the 2019-20 English Premier League.
Then even
Okay,
to
now,
those
the last
who are
comment on
saying-
this topic, and then we'll jump onto another topic.
Then it will also be unfair to Liverpool and the rest if we say this league should be, null and void, because we will now be diminishing the powers and everything, efforts Liverpool have been put, and all investments that have been put there. So I mean, if then we are looking at all angles, then it will remain with one. We postpone the league, then resume when things have calmed down. But as for me, I think we should just end this league.
Okay, let me just
prepare
get-
for future.